What's up, my friend? DK here. Welcome to the channel. We are talking about email marketing. And if you send mail to clients, if you send email to, your lead list or whatever it is, if you are using email in any shape or form from an autoresponder, you need to pay attention to this video. Okay. So if you want to see some inside tricks on how to land in the inbox and how to really know with Google, one of the biggest, Gmail, really one of the biggest and most common email providers, the most common ESPs, email service providers, because let's face it, Google or Gmail dominates the free email space. And if you're building a list out there on, it doesn't matter if you're using Aweber, ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, Mailing Boss, whatever. Typically, about 85 to 90% of your lead list are Gmail addresses. So there's a very little known tool called Google Postmaster. So if you've never heard of Google Postmaster, or maybe you have, maybe you just haven't used it yet, it's really simple and easy to use. It's really simple and easy to set up. So here's what you need to do. All you gotta do is literally just go to Google, type in Postmaster. Okay, you gotta spell it right first, but type in Postmaster. Actually, you want to type in Google Postmaster. Okay, so Google Postmaster, it'll come right up. Okay, and then you're going to see obviously Postmaster tools, or it's postmaster.google.com. Okay, now I already have accounts created here. I already have verified domain names, but here's where it gets really, really cool. So as you are mailing, and again, it doesn't matter if you're mailing from GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, Aweber, Mailing Boss. The actual autoresponder is totally irrelevant here, but you want to be using this tool. Now, why do you want to be using this tool? Because it helps you really know the inside, I call it kind of like, inside baseball or inside tips, inside tricks, inside of, the real data of what you need to know. And you need to know where your domain, so the email that you are mailing from, support@yourname.com, support@amazon.com, whatever it is, whatever domain sender that you are sending from, you're going to be able to see where your domain ranks with Google. And yeah, that's going to determine whether you land in the spam folder, or that's going to determine if you get into the primary folder. And someone who's been doing this for many, many, many years, you want to get into the primary folder. You don't want to land in the promo folder. So as an example, if I were to pull up, I have multiple Gmail accounts here, but if I was to pull up my Gmail accounts, right? You have different tabs. When you send out a mail, you have different tabs. You have the primary. This is where you want to land. You want to land in primary right here, okay? You do not want to land in the promotions folder. Nobody wants to land in the promotions folder, even though a lot of autoresponders like Aweber or ActiveCampaign or whatever it is will tell you that landing in the promotions folder isn't that bad. That's BS in my opinion. When my mail occasionally lands in promo, realistically, there's about a 10% difference in open rate. So you don't want to land in promo. Landing in promo is not okay. All right. Now, where you definitely do not want to land is the spam folder. Nobody wants to land in spam, because then you just know, you probably get a 1 to 2% open rate. Your emails aren't getting open. So the goal is to land in primary. Now, here's a couple of things that we're going to go over in this video so you can know and kind of understand if you're not landing in primary, if you are often hitting the promotions folder. Here's some things that you're going to want to do with Google Postmaster. So first, if you don't have a Gmail account, go create one right away, and then you can get into and create your Google Postmaster accounts. Well, it's going to be created automatically for you, but all you need to do is grab your domain name, whatever your sending domain is. Okay. And again, doesn't matter what autoresponder you're using. And then you're going to come over here to Google Postmaster. You're going to see down on the lower right-hand side, there's a little plus button. This is really, really simple. You enter your domain. Now, obviously, I already have multiple domains registered here, but you enter your domain, okay? Just go like that. And then you move on to the next phase. This has obviously been verified, but I can show you one that I am verifying right now. So as an example, if I click on this one here, I'm going to go here to verify domain. So once you enter your domain, you're going to see a piece of code right here. This is really, really simple. And I'll show you what this looks like. It's kind of, you're going to be doing the same thing with GoDaddy. You're going to be doing the same thing with wherever your domain, and I'll show you two different examples here. So I'll show you what GoDaddy looks like. We'll log into my GoDaddy account and I'll show you a couple of different views here. So as an example, if you do have GoDaddy, this is what it would look like here. I'll go to my main domain name here. This is one of the domains where I send mail from. Okay, so we're going to go into manage domain. Okay, and we're going to go into DNS settings. Okay, manage DNS. I'll also show you what this looks like with something like Mailing Boss. You follow the same exact process. So depending on where you house your domain, if it's Namecheap, if it's GoDaddy, if it's within something like Builderall or Mailing Boss or something like that. And all you're going to do is you're going to take this TXT record and you're going to add it into your domain. Fairly straightforward. Okay. So you can see right here, I already have it in there. Google site verification. You put the TXT record in, you put in the @ symbol, and then you paste your Google site verification code in there. And then you literally just hit enter. Very simple, very easy to do. This is what it looks like in GoDaddy. Okay. Now let's go over to something like Builderall. Okay. We'll go over here and go see, again, just kind of give you a different viewpoint. I'm going to go to the home screen here. Okay. And I think in this little apps doodad, there is, let's see here, it says DNS manager. Okay, perfect. This is where we want to go. Again, just a different viewpoint, but the process is still exactly the same. So I have another domain name. I have Daniel Kump in GoDaddy. I have Daniel J. Kump in Builderall. So right here where it says manage DNS, same exact process. Yes, I understand that I'm changing stuff. And you can see it over here too. Okay. Got the Google site verification right there, the TXT record, and boom, good to go. So let me show you what this actually looks like once you go in there and you start. And then once you actually put the TXT code in there, you're literally just going to hit verify. It could take up to 24 hours sometimes, depending on stuff. But as an example, this is where it gets really cool for you, because now you can start measuring how your domain is performing. And also there's actually three key factors that you want to know when it comes to hitting the inbox. Okay. And those three key things are this. Number one is your domain reputation. Domain reputation is probably the most important thing. Number two is your IP reputation. Now, the tricky part is the IP reputation is not necessarily managed by you, but there's things that you can do to help it. Domain reputation, there's definitely some things that you can do to help that. Okay. And then there's your spam rate, which 100% you are in full control of. So those three things, spam rate, IP reputation, and domain reputation. Those things I typically look at on almost a daily basis. And those three things will determine whether you land in the inbox, in the primary folder, or whether you land in the spam folder. Okay. So let's go check out this one right here. And I'll show you multiple different examples here, each with a different email provider. So what I mean by that is this email here, growwithdaniel.com. This specifically is, I use this with GetResponse. Okay. And I'll show you a Mailing Boss domain, and I'll show you an Active Campaign domain. Okay. Just said that really weird. All right. So anyway, this is spam rate, and we look back over the last 30 days. Your goal, okay, and just kind of like a measuring stick here, you want to stay with spam rate. You want to stay roughly under 0.5%. Under 1% is good. Under 0.5% is really good. Okay. So you want to stay under 0.5%. So meaning you're not sending out junk, you're not sending out spam, that sort of stuff. Okay. So that's spam rate. And again, you can look back over the last 30, 60, 90, 120 days. Okay. So now we'll go look at IP reputation. All right. So now you have four ratings here, 4 categories. Okay. You have bad, low, medium, and high. I will tell you that seeing high is very rare. It's very rare. You don't see high a lot. You do see it occasionally, but you don't see it a lot. Most of the time, you're going to be in medium. If you're in medium, you're typically good to go. You can even be, to be honest with you, you can even be in low and still hit the primary folder. That really depends on the combination of your IP reputation and your domain reputation. Okay. So this one here, this is all yellow. So good to go here. Again, you might think medium isn't that good. Medium is good. And high is really freaking good. So I don't see green a lot, and I've been doing this for many, many years. So green is kind of hard to come by. All right, so that's IP reputation. Now let's go on to domain reputation. Domain reputation here, this is with get response. Now, I'll kind of tell a little bit of a story here. So this, we had high for a little while, which is really good, rocking the high. Obviously nothing wrong with being there. And it dipped down, and right now it's medium. It was medium, and then it went up, and then it, probably for about a week or so, actually about 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks there, it stayed at high, and now it's back down to this. Now, the reason why, in my opinion, why I think my domain reputation took a little bit of a dip is this domain that I use right here is part of a team get response account. So by team, it means it's not just me driving the traffic and me generating the leads. It's also literally hundreds and hundreds of people on my team who are using my marketing system that I have. I have a free marketing system. If you want information on that, link in the description down below. But I have a free marketing system that I use to build large teams with. And I have a team of over 1,200 people, and a lot of them are using my free marketing system. But the tricky part about that is, I can't control where everybody gets their traffic from. Some people might get really good quality traffic and drive it through our system. Some people might go get junk, 10, pennies on the dollar traffic, and those emails might be bad. They might be, it might affect the domain reputation. It might affect the IP reputation. So it's really tough to monitor that 100%. But either way, I just make sure that we maintain a good, solid, clean list, meaning that we're only emailing the openers, and we're not sending out spammy sorted emails. So we keep the spam rate low, and we focus on maintaining the best possible domain reputation that we can. Okay. So obviously my goal with this is to get that back up to high where it was. So now let's go over and take a look at a domain with ActiveCampaign. Okay. This is ActiveCampaign right here. This is danielkump.com. This is what I use specifically for my ActiveCampaign. See here, domain reputation, high, boom, good to go, locked and loaded, nothing wrong with that. We'll go take a look at IP reputation. And again, over at ActiveCampaign, occasionally you might see some green, but for the most part, you're going to be in the yellow, which is medium, which again is very, very good. So nothing wrong with that. And we'll go take a look at spam rate. Spam rate is money, absolute money. This is a list of about 10,000 people right here. But as you can see, the spam rate is way down under 0.5%. So very, very good. All really, really good metrics. Now, what you need to think about is, and we'll kind of talk about this towards the end of the video here. If you're not hitting the primary folder, if you're landing in spam, if you're landing in, promo, there's some things that you're going to want to look at. There's some things that you're going to want to know and understand. Okay. Now, I'll get to those in just a minute. So let's look at one more domain. And this one here is kind of interesting. So this is danieljkump.com. This specifically is with Mailing Boss, also known as Builderall. Okay. And this one here, spam rate, great, looking good. Okay. We'll go look at domain reputation here. This was high. And then literally a few weeks ago, this one took a little bit of a dip. Now I know why this one took a dip. And I literally got this direct from Builderall support. Unfortunately, what happened is they had some spammers access their mailing system, and literally, I don't know how many millions of emails that they sent out, but what it ended up doing is it ended up tanking Builderall's IP reputation. And what that did is that just naturally tanked some of the users' domain reputations, like myself. Now, this did happen before several months ago, and the domain reputation eventually went back up to high. I'm definitely planning on that happening now because I definitely maintain a good, clean list. I only email the openers. I don't email, people that are just, not paying attention to their email. Once people get on my list, if they open an email, I send them another one. If they don't open any emails, then they don't get any more mail from me. That's as simple as it gets. So food for thought there. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Now, and I'll show you right here. I just mentioned that there was like a little bit of an attack on their servers and their IP reputation. So when you go here, and I'll even kind of show you some previous history. We'll go back 60 days on this one. But this is where you really can kind of know and understand and see, when certain things happen. Okay, so you see this big gap right here, and that's not a smiley face. That's really an unhappy face there. You can see this is where the attack was, where they had this big gap and the domain reputation and the IP reputations went down. Now, during this time frame, okay, emails were landing in spam. And then they were able to correct it. Obviously, the people that were using the Mailing Boss email system, they obviously kicked them out. They got rid of them, and they started to repair the IP reputation. Okay. And as soon as the IP reputation came back, even though it was low, the email started to bounce back into promo and then into primary. So if we look here and we look over like the last 30 days, you can see that there's some green creeping in here. So this means that, what does this mean? This means that they are repairing, they are repairing their IP reputation. And eventually, as you can see here, as more and more green starts to creep in, eventually I think we're going to see this IP reputation all in high, which is very, very rare and also really, really good to see. So with the domain reputation, with this one being medium on its way back to high, and the IP reputation working towards high, those are both very, very good things. Okay. So here's some thoughts. If you are hitting promo, if you are hitting spam, then you 1000%, you got to go get Google Postmaster, follow the directions, go hook up your domain, get yourself locked and loaded. Okay. That way you're going to know where your domain sits with Google. And again, if 85 to 90% of all emails that you're mailing are Gmails, you're going to want to know Gmail metrics. You want to know Google and Gmail metrics. Okay. So what I would do is, if you're not hitting the primary folder, and I would say I'm hitting the primary folder 90 to 95% of the time. Other than that, occasionally I'll hit promo, but most of the time I'm hitting primary. Okay. So a couple things that you're going to want to do. One, make sure you get Google Postmaster, know your domain reputation, know your IP reputation, know your spam rate. And one thing I will tell you is sometimes it can take up to 72 to plus hours before the data starts to generate. Okay. So if you go and you hook it up and it's not showing you any data, it says, nothing to report yet or anything like that, then you just got to give it time. You literally just have to give it time. All of my domains work the way that they're supposed to. One of them specifically, the one for Active Campaign, took about a month before it started showing any data. But as long as it's verified, as long as you verify it and you get the DNS code in there correctly, it will work. Okay, you just got to give it some time. So what I would do, let's say that your domain reputation is low or medium, and you're getting, and your IP reputation isn't that good. What I would do is make sure that you are segmenting your lists in your email autoresponder. And again, you can do this in Active Campaign, Aweber, Mailing Boss, whatever, it doesn't matter. But segment your list and make sure that you're only emailing your openers. And I would drill it down even further. If you really want to repair, a damaged domain reputation or an IP reputation, I would only email the openers that have been opening mail over the last 30 to 60 days. I wouldn't go back any further than that. I would create a segment and then create a separate list of just the openers over the last 30 to 60 days. And I would only email those subscribers for the next 30 days. And if you do that, And I've done this before. I did this with Mailing Boss here. And that's how I literally repaired my domain reputation. I had a low, back in, I think it was like in April, they had another spam attack and my domain reputation went all the way down to low and the IP reputation went down to bad. Okay. So what I did is I only emailed people that were opening mail in the last 30 days. And I did that for 30 days straight. And in a 30-day time frame, my domain reputation went from low all the way up to high, and the IP reputation went from bad to medium. Okay. And then boom, went from hitting the spam folder to hitting the primary folder. So if you do have a bad domain reputation or you have a bad IP reputation, you can fix it. You can fix it. You got to do a little bit of work, but you can fix it. Okay. Now, a couple of other things that you're going to want to keep in mind. You should 1000% have certain key elements on your domain name. I have other trainings on this where you should have your DKIM or DKIM. You should also have an SPF record in your DNS. Okay. You want a DMARC TXT record in your DNS. And if I'm talking foreign language to you, no worries. I do have a training on this on my channel. I'm going to see if I can find this for you. And I'll even put this in the, put this link in the description down below, so you have access to this. I'm going to try to find this for you here and see if I can. I made a specific training talking about DNS and specifically, just 1 second here, email marketing. I don't know if I put it in here or not. Oh yeah, it is in here. It is in here. Okay. I think I do remember that it is in here. So there is a, unless it's in get response, it might be in get response. No, it's not. It's in the, I did another training specifically for Builderall and in here. So I'll put I have a whole training series. I have a whole email marketing training series that I created. I'll put that whole link in the description down below, and you can go check that out. And I break down doing the DKIM records, the DMARC records, the SPF records. Those are some other things that you're going to want to have in your DNS settings to ensure that you land in the primary folder. These are just little nuggets, little nuances that if you do that, it's just going to help authenticate your sender domain. And it's, again, going to help you get into the primary folder versus being in promo or hopefully not spam. So I hope you got value from this video. I know it was a lot of information. It's a little bit on the technical side. So if you are an email marketer, you will hopefully understand this information and go act on this. If you got value from this video, please do me a favor, like this video. And also, if you watch the video to this point, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you get notified anytime I post new content here on my channel, whether it be about any of my free training series or any little nugget trainings that I'm doing like this, talking about email marketing. That is one of my passions and one of the things that I really enjoy. But if we go over to here, I'll just kind of show you on my channel real quick, is that I have lots and lots and lots of free trainings over here. This is how I make a full-time income in literally an hour a day. I have a YouTube training right here. I walk you through how to set up a YouTube channel from scratch, exactly what to do. I have a free 6-figure affiliate training series. This is my, this is the email automation that I was literally just talking about right here. You can go check that out. I have a daily motivation playlist. I also have one of my primary businesses. I have some really, this is what I like to call like whiteboard training, where I show you on the whiteboard, building out a team, how to place people, all of that sort of stuff. Also some traffic authority. If you're into traffic, if you need traffic for your business, you may want to go check out that training series right there. And obviously lots of other trainings, Click Magic and whatnot. Email marketing training series. You may want to check this out if you're into email marketing right there. I go over a lot of great nuggets, in that email marketing training series right there. So head on over to my channel, do yourself a favor, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified anytime I post new content here on my channel. And if you did get value from this, do me a favor and drop a comment down below. I will see you, my friend, on the next video here on my channel. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Later.